we came to Anand. They wanted to see us. We were Syrians. So they wanted to, so we were for 3-4 months in Anand. Father Arancheril and myself were the two candidates who joined Gujarat mission in 1941. And the provincial of Gujarat wanted to see us since we were Syrian Christians. And we stayed in Anand for 3 months. And after that, during that time, fathers took us to the mission stations to show the field of our future activities. And after 3 months, we were sent to the novitiate to Shambhavanur, Kodaikanal of Madurai province. There was no Vinayalaya at that time. That was in 1941. In 1942, they opened Vinayalaya, and then we continued our novitiate in Shambhavanur, and at the end of our novitiate, we were sent to Vinayalaya for juniorate. And we did, both of us, our juniorate in Vinayalaya from 1943 to 45. And in 1945, we both of us went to Shambhavanur to do our philosophy. We were there for 3 full years for our philosophy, and in 1948 we returned to Gujarat. But then we had only one high school in Gujarat, and therefore there were surplus scholastics who had to do their regency. They were sent to Bombay, and I was posted in St. Chancellor's High School, Bandra. Father John Arancheril did his, however, did his regency in Anand Primary School. Afterwards, after 1 year, I continued my regency in Rosary High School, Baroda, because Rosary High School belonged to Bombay at that time. And after my 1 year stay in Rosary High School, I was sent to study Gujarati language. So first I was sent to Anand, where the Gujarati language, the theory was taught to us by one Father Anthony Lobo. And after 1 year of theory in Anand, for practice to practice Gujarati language, I was sent to Bochasan and Petla, both to 6 months each. For Petla, for Gujarati practice, I was teaching classes in Gujarati language in these two places where they had only a primary school in those days. 1942 and then 1952, after my 6 months stay in Vaghela. In 1952, I was sent to Pune for theology. I was in Pune, De Nobili College for theology for 4 years. And Father John Manucheril, he was sent to Gurjarvani to do his theology. After 3 years, we were ordained priests. I was ordained priest in Pune in 1955. And in 56, I finished my theology, and then from there, straight away, I was sent to Kodaikanal, La Providence. There was a house called La Providence, and I did my tertianship there. I finished my tertianship in 1957. And at the end of my tertianship, Father Provincial gave me appointment as a teacher in a Rosary School. So I came to Rosary School as a priest in 1957. And I remained, and the rector was Father Carl Fonseca, rector and principal. I continued there for 5 years till 62, and in 1962 I was transferred to St. Xavier's High School, newly opened high school, St. Xavier's in Jamnagar. I was in charge of the English section, and I was there as a teacher and principal of the English section for 6 years. And in 1968, I was transferred to Gomtipur, Ahmedabad city. Gomtipur High School I came, and then I was also there vice principal and teacher for 5 years. During that time, Father Provincial, Father Arana, asked me to be in charge of or pastor to the Kerala workers who were working in the various mills of Ahmedabad city. There were many, in those days, there were many mills, cotton mills in Ahmedabad. And so it was easy to get a job, and the Kerala people came in big numbers, and there were many families who were not coming to church and all because they did not know Gujarati well. Anyway, I started work among them, saying Mass, visiting them, saying Mass for them in Malayalam, and taking care of them. At the same time, a full-time teacher. In 1970, I was transferred to Mirzapur school, and to Mirzapur. I would say exactly I was in 5 years in Gomtipur. Therefore, it should be 73. So from 68 to 73, I was in Gomtipur, and in 73 to 75, I was teaching, a full-time teacher, and in charge of the Kerala people, staying in Mirzapur and teaching in Mirzapur St. Xavier's High School. In 1975, in 1975, yes, I was sent to Kutch Bhuj to be principal of Bharat High School. Bharat High School was a private school conducted by private agencies, but they wanted to get rid of their headache, and they were offered the school to us. I went there 2 years. I worked as principal of the school, and then meanwhile we got permission from Gandhinagar to change the name of the school from Bharat School to St. Xavier's High School. So one year I went to America, and Colorado State, there was a Jesuit University and a Jesuit high school, and I was a teacher there for 1 year, and during holidays and major vacation time, I used to go out for pastoral work. I collected some money for which I used when I returned to Bhuj. So it was 1979 to 80. 1 year I was there in America, and in 80 I came back to Bhuj, continued as principal, and meanwhile we got one Father Marino's name by name, CMI. He was an engineer, and he had his own workers who knew the technical workers, and I called him, and he came, and he built in that land which we got from the government, put up a big building of 18 classrooms, and then we shifted from the boarding the school to the new building of St. Xavier's Bhuj. And I was after that. I was there altogether like that for 6 years. In 81, I came back to Mirzapur as principal of the night school. I could remain there longer, as long as I wanted, but then I wanted a little change. And so after 5 years, I got a permission to go to Jamshedpur province. Jamshedpur was vice province of the society conducted by American fathers. I was in a place called Dunwad, Dinobili School, and I was treasurer and a teacher of that high school for 2 years. After 2 years, there was a chance of a treasurer's job in Rosary School, Vadodara. So since Rosary School was my old school, with permission, I returned to Gujarat, and I became 1948. I became treasurer and a teacher also, Rosary School. Father principal made use of me to teach, and although I had age-wise I could not, but since I was not getting any salary from the school, neither from the school nor from government, they allowed me to teach, and I continued teaching from 1950 to 2006, I think. And then in 2006, I was shifted because of my age. I was shifted to Jeevandarshan, and I am now staying permanently in Jeevandarshan.